Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anne of Reinforcement Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today, we are going to talk about Eat That Frog to Boost Your Productivity by Brian Tracy. Eat That Frog, the 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. It is a popular self help book focused on improving productivity and overcoming procrastination. The book title comes from the idea that if you first eat a live frog each morning, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that it's probably the worst thing that you do all day. In other words, the frog symbolizes your most crucial task, the hardest task of the day, the one that you are most likely to procrastinate. That is why you have to nail it first. You know, that could be the task that significantly impacts your life, although it could be the hardest task. But in nailing it down first in the morning when you have the best of your energy, then you're good to go. It will make you satisfied, it will make your day. Now, here are the 21 ways from Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Number one is set the table. What I'm trying to say is clearly define your goals and write them down. I'm talking about the long term goals, your 1 year goal, 2 year goal, 3 year goal, something that you can look forward to every day. Your reason to wake up, get up, and work every day. Not only in terms of money, it could be your health, career, relationship, anything. Anything which you consider important and has a lasting impact in your part. Like, for example, you are aiming to run a marathon. So write them down, schedule training sessions, and mark the marathon date on your calendar. Like, for example, yeah, like in Dublin City Marathon, which is held yearly on November. So the first thing that you can do if you want to join it is to enroll yourself. And once you're picked, get ready. You can train every week and then make sure that you get ready every day. And not necessarily that you have to practice this. I forgot how many miles that you have to run for that, but you can start small. You can do sprint for 5 minutes if it's your first day, 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then half an hour you can run, and then 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and then you can increase your speed. You can start small because it's 1 year anyway. You still have more time to condition yourself, and then as well as your nutrition, your hydration. There are a couple of things that you consider so that you can successfully achieve, be there and finish the marathon, like the Dublin City Marathon 2024. The second the second step is plan every day. Make a to do list for the next day before bed. Or you can even make your to do list a week before, a month before when you are extremely hectic kind of person. You can plan your day ahead. For me, I got a plan. I'm not a busy person, but I already plan my days a week. On Sundays, Saturdays or Sundays, I know what I'm going to do the following week. Although it's not going to be perfectly done because there might be some uh, commitments that's going to pop up, but I know what I'm going to do every time I wake up in the morning. And of course, I'm not a perfect person. I improve it over time. Sometimes I miss it, to be honest, but I make it up the following week. So if you're still starting out at night, you can list your tasks, such as drafting a report, attending a meeting, and following up on emails on the next day. The third way, the third strategy for that eat that frog is apply the 80-20 rule to everything. So this is Wilfredo Pareto's rule, the 80-20. Focus on the 20% of the task yielding 80% of the results, which means that it's important that you prioritize tasks that have the most significant impact on your goals. So 20%. Like, if you are a sales manager, prioritize the top clients that generate the most revenue, not those individual clients who have loads of complaints and will order less. So prioritize you know your long-term customers who trust you. Or if you are a nurse, it's important to prioritize the most critical patients, to expect the needs of the critical patients, and then down to the less critical patients who will only request, who will only call you sometimes to give them water, compared to those critical patients that you have to anticipate what they need. Because those critical patients they could be they could be in the 50-50 situation. So prioritize the critical patients, not only as a nurse, even doctors, even HCAs. So that is prioritization. Number 4, consider the consequences. Evaluate the potential impact of tasks and prioritize those with significant long-term benefits. So, in terms of task which has a potential impact on you, you can prioritize those tasks which are important and urgent. Important and urgent, and you can evaluate them if they're hard tasks or easy. So to some people, if they have important and urgent tasks, some people would find it easier to finish when they start with the hard task like in another way of saying, eat that frog. Put down the hardest task in the morning, first thing in the morning, with conditioning yourself, along with conditioning yourself to do that task. Some people would find it easier to really overcome the hardest task by starting with the easier ones. The easier but important and urgent. Easier, important, but urgent. Because people are different. They have different ways to plan. They have their own ways. Some strategies could work for this person, but it won't work to the other person. So people are different. You have to identify what really works for you. And choose to work on strategic plan that will influence your company's growth over answering routine emails if you are a manager. And if you are a nurse, yeah, as was what I've said before, you can conquer the hardest and important task first, or you could tackle the urgent, important, and easy task first. But all are important. That's how it means to be a nurse. Sometimes important and urgent stuff comes along at the same time when you work in the hospital. That is why you have to really rethink again which of them is the most important, and then you nail them down first. Out of those urgent and important tasks, you have to reevaluate again which is the most important. So prioritization is everything. And it even makes you more efficient, effective at the same time. Number 5 is practice creative procrastination. What I'm trying to say with creative procrastination is deliberately delay low priority tasks to focus on high priority ones. For example, delay organizing your desk to finish a client proposal, which is due soon. So, in this situation is clearing out your desk and versus client proposal, which is due soon. So, whatever happens to your environment, to your desk, the most important part of this is the client proposal. What are you going to suggest to that client to improve his sales, his marketing, his company? So whatever happens, if it's cluttered, desk is cluttered, still nail the most important. You can clear out your desk later anyway. And number 5 is Use the ABCDE method continually. So I have discussed this ABCDE method, in my previous topic before. This is by means of categorizing the task by importance and urgency. A means must do. B means the should do, with mild consequences. C means it's nice to do it, no consequence. D means delegate. You can give the task, assign the task to others. E means unnecessary task, chit chat, social media, you know, browsing. So I'm going to give you an example. For A category, finish the critical financial report. Or as a nurse manager in an area, it's important to really target, and if the KPI, report is due, then it's way better to finish it first. Then you can go outside when you're finished and then submit the report you know, to the quality management or whoever is requesting you for that. But the main thing is, if it's due right now and it's important, then do it. Otherwise, you're done. your your performance level might gonna be crucial, in a critical condition. So if it's important right now, get it done. B, in the B category, with mild consequences. Those mild consequences means, for example, returning a call to a colleague. If he's asking you for help, because like in the clinical area, so you're doing something important and you're planning to do in your head, you're planning to do another your notes, but your colleague called you because she needs help. So after finishing, what you're doing right now, it's way better to help that colleague, so that there to really to avoid emergencies if that colleague is handling a critical patient. If that colleague will be busy, all of you will be busy anyway, because it's teamwork. And also it's another way to show the colleague your support, and so that colleague of yours wouldn't be burned out. So help that colleague and then do your notes when you finish. And that it wouldn't take a day to help somebody in the clinical area, unless if it's emergency. C category, A, B, C, D, C, which means nice thing to do with no consequences at all. For example, attending a routine meeting which has something to do with your goals, with your goals in the area. Like for example, if you are a nurse manager, you have to, if there's a seminar for leadership, then make time for that. It will help you. It will surely help you improve. Or if you are an ordinary, if you are just a staff nurse, if there is a meeting which has something to do with the updates about blood transfusion or venesection updates, which has something to do with your work, updates are important. So make time for it. Nice thing to do. You can actually reschedule it, but you still have to do it anyway, because that's for your own good as a healthcare worker. And as a manager, even in business, so if it has something to do with your role, with your team, then join the meeting. Otherwise, if it's just, if it wouldn't improve your team at all, your company, then just pass. Let it pass. D. D means delegate. A, B, C, D. Delegate. So delegate those urgent but non-important phone calls. Give it to your secretary. And besides, your secretary will tell you about it when you're free. Or there could be some reports or tasks which can be delegated to your colleague, to other, like for example, in the clinical area, if you are a nurse, you can delegate some tasks to a healthcare assistant. Or it could be to your colleague if you are going for a break, because break is also a priority for a recharge moment for yourself. Letter E, A, B, C, D, E. Strategy. So E means elimination of unnecessary tasks. When you are doing something important, keep your phone away. No interruptions. No calls. If you are doing the most important thing right now in front of you, eliminate the chit chat. You know, eliminate the unnecessary, could be urgent but non important calls. Some people could answer them. It doesn't necessarily means that you have to answer them. If other people can do it, just do the thing that is important to you right now. Or another thing, elimination. Eliminate those video games, online games. If you are having a good time with your kids, with your spouse, if you're having a quality time, put it away. They are important than the online games, which will only give you a break time at the moment. But when you are facing your loved ones, the most important people in front of you, and of course this people has something to do with your productivity, with your life in general, then make time for them. Put away the phone or turn off their notifications. Some of them are quite a big distractions in your part. Number 7, focus on key result areas. So identify and concentrate on areas crucial to your success and focus on improving your performance in these areas. Like, for example, if you are a marketer, focus on campaign strategies and performance analysis. Another thing is, if you are an oncology nurse, focus only on what makes you a great oncology nurse. Or if you want to handle diabetic patients, it's way better to specialize in that area and be a diabetic educator. If you only want to focus and improve and you love the job as a diabetic educator, then why not? Go for it. Specialize. Or if you want to be not just a diabetic nurse in the hospital, looking after patients, then, you can even prescribe the doses of their medications, then focus on that area if that is your strength. But also don't forget your weaknesses, but invest more on your strength. Number 8, apply the law of three. This also has something to do with the 80-20 principle. Just identify the top 3 important tasks contributing to your success. What is your goal today? It could be your health, it could be your relationship, it could be your career. Today, what you can do about it today. Focus on them. It could be you could do workout, or if you want to earn more, you could focus on looking at the demand in the market, looking at the demand, and then you could start branding and then product creation, or it's up to you, whichever works for you. And as a nurse, your top 3, not only in the area of money and career, it could be, as a nurse, your top 3 could be your health. It's important to work out, and then your relationship, make time with your family, because this could be important people who are close to your heart. They could be the reason why you live, why you work, why you have to be healthy, why you want to live long. So take care of your significant others. So health, wealth, and relationship. Money. So you could work on climbing in the corporate ladder if you are interested enough to do it. If you got the guts, then why not? Do not limit yourself. And that could be your top 3. Your health, your relationship, it could be your career / it's another way for you to work on your financial area. But basically, career. When you want to improve your position in a company. Number 9 is prepare thoroughly before you begin. Before starting a task, gather all necessary tools and information to avoid interruptions. So, like, for example, if you're working on a presentation, before starting the task, working on your presentation, Collect the data, create an outline, and prepare the slides for your presentation. And put away your phone, just in a period of time anyway. You're not going to be left behind by the civilization. If you put away your phone for an hour or two, you're never going to be left behind. The only consequence to that is when you work on the things that are important to you and you leave your phone away for 2 hours, it will only help you advance in life. Be important in the entire civilization and make a contribution. You're not going to be left behind. Number 10, take it one oil barrel at a time. So what I'm trying to say is break large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. For example, if you're planning to write an ebook, start with chapter outlines so that you'll be able to know what you're going to discuss. Then write one at a time, under each outline. Make a thorough explanation, but outline first, your chapters. Number 11, upgrade your key skills. So continuously improve your skills to increase efficiency. For example, take online courses to learn your project management. If you are a software developer, so you can learn new project management software techniques or strategies or updates. If you are a healthcare provider, you can attend on seminars, seminars with topics which are important to you. Like if you are in an oncology unit, so it has to be under oncology department and with topics which has something to do with cancer patients, and it could be your procedures that you're doing, procedure updates. So always go for continuing education. It will even make you more confident, efficient, and effective, because you've been working for a long time in that area, plus the updates. Look, imagine what kind of expert you're going to be as a healthcare provider or as a nurse. Number 12, leverage your special talents. What I'm trying to say is focus on tasks that leverage your unique strength. Like, for example, if you're good in marketing, then specialize in marketing. Just anything that has something to do with marketing, install it in your head. Practice the skills. Or in product creation, you can concentrate on that too. Or like, for example, if you are a nurse, if you want to be really good in medical surgical, then focus on that area. Join the seminars, updates. You can even improve your position in that area so that you can be more effective. You can even improve the entire area. As I'm talking about, if you're a nurse, it's just for example. Number 13, identify your key constraints. Determine and address the bottleneck that slow you down. So the only thing I can think about this is the internet. Gosh, if the internet is slow, it hinders productivity of the entire, sometimes it could be the entire hospital, not only the entire area. If there is a problem with the system in the hospital, it even happens to us though, everything delays. So if there's already a problem that pops up in a day and you've learned something from that problem, make sure that you know already how to prevent, diagnose the problem as quick as you can and solve that problem as quick as you can. Otherwise, if there is a problem in the system, it delays the processing for the entire institution. So yeah, internet could be the basic, but system, yeah, make sure that it will be resolved as soon as it can be resolved. Number 14, put the pressure on yourself. Set a challenging deadlines and push yourself to meet them. Commit to finishing a project a week earlier than required. So This has something to do with productivity and not letting yourself down. Confidence. Pressure yourself and finish the task ahead of time. And not only it will give you confidence and increase your productivity, efficiency, and you'll become an effective person. That this kind of performance will even become your brand as a person working in that company. So if you are consistently doing this, your manager or any person that you work with, they know exactly who they're going to call. It could be you because you are such an efficient person. You know already what to do, or you know how to plan ahead so you can finish it as fast as you can. Number 15, maximize your powers. Maintain good health and energy to enhance productivity. So, I'm talking about sleep, exercise, and healthy diet to stay energized. The saddest thing that can ever happen if is when you have a really tough, strong mind, but your body is weak. So, take good care of our body so that whatever we want to do in this life, we got the power, we got the strength, we can do anything. So take care of ourselves, our body. Now, number 16, motivate yourself into action. Use positive affirmation and self talk to motivate yourself. Remember past successes and visualize completing your current task successfully. I don't usually use positive affirmation, but this is just for example, a personal example. I talk to myself. I encourage myself. I treat myself like my best friend, a kind of friend who is good for me, who encourages me, who loves me as me, who is compassionate enough to accept my mistakes and then get my act together and go for it. Get back and attack on the track. It's not going to be perfectly done over time though, because once it's hard to be hit by problems. But, when you decide to really get your act together, then it's going to take time, but it's going to be worth it. So, motivate yourself into action. And one way to really energize yourself is to look up your don't look away from the long-term prize, your goals, your long-term goals, 1 year goal, 3 year goal, 5 year goal, 10 year goal. Always look forward, and that will surely energize you, those goals. Because goals will give you purpose, why you're here, why you wake up in the morning, why you work. Goals which have something to do with your health, with your wealth, especially with your relationships, careers, things that can make you happy. It can build you, it can build yourself. Number 17. Number 17. Get out of the technological time sink. So, limit the time spent on digital distractions. Set specific times to check emails and social media rather than doing it throughout the day. So, once again, as I've said earlier, you're not going to be left behind by the civilization if you put off your phone for 2 hours or half a day, unless you need to call your son or your daughter, your spouse, to let them know that you're still here. You're just working on your goals, working on what's important to you. So make a schedule to, if playing online games give you a head start or a break, then make a schedule for that. Make sure that it wouldn't interrupt on your important things to do, those unnecessary stuff. So make schedule for those unnecessary stuff, digital distractions. Sometimes we like to be distracted. This will it could be a break in our mind, but it's not good to be distracted all the time, that you cannot concentrate on what is the most important thing to do. So be selective with your time, and if you want to be distracted, then schedule your distraction moments. Don't be distracted for the entire day, half a day. Remember your long term goals. Number 18, slice and dice the task. Break the large task into smaller chunks. So, like for example, if you want to propose a business, if you want to raise some money from the investors, so before that happens, it's important to have a business plan. And when creating a business plan, start with executive summary, then move to marketing analysis, and then so on. If you are a nurse in the clinical area, make a plan for each patient and prioritize the critical patients once again, down to less critical patients, so that you wouldn't be overwhelmed when you see all of them, six or five of them in front of you. So the only way also, you know, planning also ease your pressure because you know what to do, you know what to attack, and you know how, you know when you plan. By breaking down the large tasks, the large chunk of things to do to smaller ones. Number 19, create large chunks of time. Allocate significant blocks of uninterrupted time for essential tasks. I'm talking about the deep work. If you are working on an important project, prioritize them. Like since we're talking about eat that frog, do those important projects first thing in the morning. Like we're talking about time blocks now. Block the time from 9 o'clock to 12 noon. No interruptions. Close the door in your office. No phones, no phone calls, just deep work. Or if you are working at home, stay in the room, you know, tell your kids, your spouse, your partner that you don't want to be disturbed in this period of time from 9 to 12. That is deep work. Block off 3 hours in the morning. So that's first thing in the morning, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 9 to 12 noon for focus work on critical projects. Because those projects has something to do with your long-term goal. And when you reach that long-term goal, happy days, success. But you have to work your ass off before those success. Hard work first. Number 20, develop a sense of urgency. Cultivate the habit of moving quickly and efficiently. Because once you let your body decide, when you have decided already what to do, and then you let your body think, when are you going to do it? Most of the time, it's not going to happen because your body will always find comfort. So when you've already decided what to do right now, then just do it. Do it in less than 2 seconds. Move it. Move until you finally get to a momentum. Set a timer. Like as I've mentioned before in my previous episode, the Pomodoro technique. Setting a 25 minutes work, deep work, and 5 minutes break. So set a timer for 25 minutes and work intensely on a task during that period. Another way to really develop a sense of urgency is to really do the work. I mean, act within 5 seconds. Because if you don't act within 5 seconds, act on the things that you're planning to do, you're most likely going to procrastinate it because it's comfortable to be sitting down, it's comfortable to be on bed under your blanket and it's cold. So you're most likely to procrastinate because of comfort. In other words, if you're thinking about really doing it, then do it quickly. Get your body moving. Number 21, the last but not the least. Single handle every task. So focus on one task at a time until completion. So if you're working on a report, do not switch to checking emails or other tasks until the report is done. So single tasking, not multitasking. So when you are doing one thing at a time, your focus is just only there. And with focus and one thing, that will increase your efficiency. And as a result to that, since you're only concentrating on one task, the quality of your work, of your results will be high, will be beautiful, almost perfect, will be the best of you. And you're not going to be stressed about it if you only concentrate on your on one task. And when you successfully finish it, you wouldn't be overwhelmed. You'll be satisfied enough because wow, it's done. Unlike if you do a lot of things at one time, you'll be overwhelmed, exhausted. You would even hate it. So just one task at a time. Single handle every task. Now, by incorporating this 21 methods of Eat That Frog, from Eat That Frog into your daily routine, it can help you effectively manage your time, enhance productivity, and overcome procrastination in the most part. Eat that frog. Do the most critical task, the hardest task first. Those tasks that you would likely procrastinate, but you can't help. You can't help it. You can't help canceling those tasks because you want to be successful. So nail it first. Now, if you ever love this episode today, you can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even in Amazon Podcasts. This is Reinforce McLove. And by the way, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you once again. Eat that frog. Do the hardest task first, and then you're good to go. Thank you.